is the Chapter 5 Packet Tracer 5.3.4.4, and we're going to be performing an initial router configuration. So in order to do that, we need to go to the customer PC with the console cable hooked up to the customer router. We're going to get into our terminal software. And the first thing we need to do is get to the global configuration mode. So I'm going to enable it, and then I'm going to configure terminal. And the first thing we want to do is give it a host name. And we're going to call this router customer router. Okay, the next thing we want to do is give it a password. So we're going to type in enable password. Okay, the next thing we want to do is set an encryption privileged password. So we're going to go and we're going to type in enable secret. And our password is going to be Cisco 123. Make sure you spell it right. Okay, the next thing we want to do is configure the console password. So that is line console 0. And we want to add a password. And we want to tell it to do that at login. Okay. Now the next thing that we want to do is configure the VTY password to allow internet access to the router. So that is line VTY 04. So I want to give it a password. And once again at login. Okay. Next thing we want to do is configure password encryption, and then we're going to do a message of the day banner, and then we're going to turn off domain server lookup. So the first thing we need to do from our global configuration mode is type in service password encryption. That will encrypt our password. And then for a message of the day, we're going to type in banner message of the day. Then we need to surround it with some special characters, and we can put something like authorized access only. We're going to make sure we end it with a special character so it knows that that's the end of our message. Okay, and then the next thing we want to do is to turn off the domain server lookup. And from our global configuration mode, we want to do that by typing no IP domain hyphen lookup. Okay, and we want to exit out of that and to save our configuration. We're going to do a copy run start. Okay, the next thing we want to do is exit out of our terminal, and we want to check our configurations to make sure that we have initially set up that router. So we're going to go back to our terminal software, and you can see our message of the day banner, authorized access only, and then it says user access verification. So it wants our password that we just set up. So now we can try to get into the global configuration mode. It's going to ask us for our password again. And let's just see if we can get into the global configuration mode, in which we can. So now we have successfully performed an initial router configuration, configured the router host name, configured the passwords, configured banner messages, and then we verified the router configuration. And that will conclude this packet tracing.